Well, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you. On behalf of my wife, Linda, who we're all going to hear about later, and myself, I'd like to thank you for this award. It's a very meaningful honor in my life, and we've worked very hard over the past 25 years developing Trinity and developing our relationship. So this is a huge reward, and I appreciate it. But I have to confess, I'm a little taken aback by the title of the award, the Lifetime Achievement Award. As you can see, I'm not dead yet. I'm 60, but I'm not 80, and I still have another 25 or 30 years of good work ahead of me. God willing. But what I have learned in the last couple of days is when I do retire, and I heard Julie talk about being a recovering entrepreneur. What a great line. I don't know if you ever recover from being an entrepreneur, and we'll discuss that a little bit later. But what I wanted to say is when I do retire, I'm going to retire to Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm going to attend Phoenix College, and I'm going to study meteorology. Because we've been here 3 days now, and the weather hasn't changed. I know it's a 2-year course and it's a 2-year class for most community colleges, but I figure you can study meteorology here in about 2 days and be on TV and say, today's hot, tomorrow's hot, and the next day's hot. Any questions? Honestly, really, I did not expect all this. When Judy Hogan from Middlesex called and let me know that I was the honoree here today, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't expect 500 people. I didn't expect this whole thing. It truly has touched my heart. I'd like to thank the National Association for Community College Entrepreneurship, as well as Middlesex Community College. Judy, thank you so much for honoring me with this award. Let's go back 10 to 12 years. My daughter is a rebellious, angry 18-year-old girl living in her car at the end of a cul-de-sac in Nashua, New Hampshire. A dead-end street reflecting her dead-end life. How did this happen? A consistent A-B student in high school doesn't even graduate with her class. Ironically, her life is indeed at a dead end, and she's lost without direction, no matter how much guidance Linda and I try to give her. She calls me at work, usually in the mornings, crying because she's cold and in need of a shower. I play the tough love thing, because when you refuse to follow parental rules, break curfews, steal money, and then lie about what you've done, you must pay the consequence. Little did she know, when we hung up from those gut-wrenching conversations, I was crying too. She needed help, and I didn't know where to get it. Enter Northern Essex Community College in Haverhill. The perfect place for those who need the foundation to become a successful entrepreneur. What they gave my daughter, Alexa, was direction, accountability, sociability, and more than any of those, possibility. For the first time in a long time, Alexa felt she had possibility in her future. Her professors were attentive, and their guidance was strong and true. Listen to what this second-year student, his testimonial when speaking of his experience at Middlesex Community College. He said this: "If you fail in this school, you would want to fail," said Carlos Aquino, "because the help the professors give you and the guidance the school provides, you can't ask for anything more. This is what your community college and colleges brings to your students: possibility. Alexa graduated from Northern Essex Community College in 2009, earning a degree in radiology. And while working at Lowell General Hospital, she attended Rivier College in Nashua. She received her bachelor's degree in 2011. As we speak today, she is currently about to graduate from the Mass College of Pharmacy in December and has 2 job offers on the table as a practicing physician's assistant. I just want to ask, is there anyone here from Northern Essex Community College? Oh yeah, come here. Yeah, I'm the keynote speaker, so I can do this. That's right, come on.
Very nervous.
No, please. What's your name?
Pat Morrow. My son works for Trinity.
Oh!
It's a small world.
I'm bringing Pat up because I want to tell you this. I didn't do this. Linda didn't do this. Alexa and Pat's school did this. You have become part of my family now because of what Northern Essex Community College did for my daughter. And I'm going to thank you so much. Thank you. The spirit of this organization also develops employability. According to the Huffington Post, there were 5.1 million non-college level jobs 30 years ago. In 2011, there is 17.4 million non-college level jobs. That is what your possibility has done for the students of community colleges. How can that be? Because very soon, and someone mentioned it, I think Tim mentioned it on the panel discussion, very soon, the fastest growing segment in employment in this country will require only associate degrees and community college certificates. We're talking accounting, we're talking business, we're talking healthcare, we're talking computer, Microsoft, Facebook, Google. Those guys dropped out of 4-year colleges, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean you need a 4-year degree to be an entrepreneur. These are skills that are employable now. But what about the future? Middlesex College in Bedford, Massachusetts, is embarking on an ambitious $27 million expansion program. Their new STEM building, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, is designed to prepare the workforce for the future, according to its president, Carol Cowan. The next steps includes incubator space. And it's too bad I'm up here talking to you, because I really would like to talk with you as far as incubator space. I'm understanding, I'm learning now about Fab Labs, which I guess a lot of the community colleges are doing. Last year you were introduced to Desh Despande as your honoree, the Merrimack Valley Sandbox, which is an incubator-based system where students go and learn and develop new products, new programs, new innovations. Several weeks ago, I was asked to be a judge at the Merrimack Valley Sandbox. And it's very easy. There were 5 businessmen sitting on a stage, and there were 8 people that were applying for $30,000 in grants. Not necessarily everybody would get the same amount of money, but we sat as judges and we listened to 8 budding entrepreneurs talk about their product and hoping they were going to get a piece of that $30,000 prize. One of the gentlemen developed a product, a food product. It was pesto. Now, I love pesto. Look at me. I could take a bath in pesto. But this wasn't just any pesto. This was a pesto in which the ingredients were inhibitors to the symptoms of autism. His child had autism, and he developed this in a lab in coordination with several other people. Now, skeptical John looks at him, because we get to ask questions for 10 minutes, and said, listen, sounds great to me, but is this FDA approved? Absolutely, the FDA approved it. And here's the kicker. All he was looking for to get started was $1,000. That's all he wanted. There was another gentleman. He started a mobile phone apps, like video games. He knew his target audience. He knew his demographics. He wasn't going to even launch it in this country. He was going to launch it in Asia and in Germany, where people and children or young people have two things. They have money, and they have the savvy to appreciate the products that this kid had. 4 people down from me on the panel was a CEO of Enterprise Bank, Jack Clancy. I looked at him. We both took our wallets out. I was going to give them each what they needed and buy 51% of their companies. These new expansions with the STEM project and the Merrimack Valley Sandbox will allow for this relatively obscure phenomenon, to become a reality in our own community. The possibility of entrepreneurial workspace in programs like these is endless. One of the other advantages of this STEM initiative is the students have the A, freedom to fail, and B, they have the ability to tolerate risk, all in a controlled environment. If there's one thing that I disagree with, it's the freedom to fail. That's all well and good, but in the real entrepreneurial world, the mindset of a true entrepreneur should be failure is not tolerated. Let's go back to 1991. Trinity EMS starts with one used ambulance. We dispatched out of our kitchen table. My kids couldn't answer the phone. And if the phone did ring, we'd have to answer at Trinity EMS. Our two-way radios, our portable radios, were answered by myself hanging out the bathroom window because it was the only place I could get a clear signal from where we lived. Even though we worked from our kitchen, there was no appetite for failure. Today, Trinity EMS is the largest ambulance provider in the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire, and you saw the demographics. We answer over 70,000 calls per year, and we have almost 90 trucks. We employ around 275 people, depending on my mood. Another exciting theme of today's conference is your core mission is value. I heard it mentioned again on the panel discussion today. In today's business environment, the definition of value is doing more with less. The recession taught us that. In healthcare, for instance, my world, insurance companies now want fast service, high quality, low cost. Pretty basically impossible. Come on, where can you find all three of those things in one product? I'll tell you where. Community colleges. My company is seeking to remodel itself to meet these stringent demands, but it's not easy. You've figured out accessibility, you've figured out affordability. According to Forbes magazine, the average community college student pays $2,713 a year. The average private school is 10 times that. It's no secret. Graduating community college students are far ahead of their four-year counterparts, having less debt and more employability. I can talk about relevance, I can talk about responsiveness, I can talk about a lot of things. We talked about partnerships a few minutes ago. Let's say this. The chairman of the board of directors of the Greater Haverhill Chamber of Commerce is Gene Poth, vice president of Northern Essex Community College. That's what we talk about when we talk about partnerships. And there's much more I can say, but I'm being... Let's talk about this 1 second. You can teach flexibility. You can teach accessibility. You can teach affordability, but you can't teach passion. Being an entrepreneur, and I think Julie will tell you this, being an entrepreneur is like being in love. It's a feeling. It's a gut feeling. It's an innate, I can do this feeling that you have to have in order to look failure in the eye and say, not going to happen. One more thing. I love what you've done, and I love what you're doing. But in the future, as you nurture and develop upcoming entrepreneurs, do me a favor. Offer a marriage prep course. Because entrepreneurial success comes at a cost. It comes at a cost to your family, it comes at a cost to your health, it comes at a cost to your friends. When you work 16 hours a day, have sleepless nights in financial insecurity, you have to balance them with unwavering support. In closing, I'd like to introduce my unwavering support, my wife Linda. Without her, all the things you saw on the screen today would not have happened.